We are live. My countdown isn't happening. We forgot how to do this after being gone for over a month.
Yeah, you know. And I also just looked at the stream, and the title is "Scammers Suck," episode 31.
Oh, it should be updated now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Man, we're just awesomely rusty.
That was the title of episode 31.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, so it should be good. But welcome back to Monday Night Live Chat. We know we've been gone for quite some time. June was a crazy busy month. It just got to the point where it was like, we can't get ourselves above water. So we just, do what we did, and we're here. We're here now. And for the rest of the summer, it is pretty much just going to be once a month as far as that goes. And then towards the slower time, we'll get back to every 2 weeks. We're just so busy, people just don't know how busy we are. It's just really,
you know what it is too? Is everybody else is busy. Like, look at the comments right now. If people are here, they're not commenting or what? We got like 5 comments. Evan Stomp, by the way, what's up? Henry's here. John's here. Vanderhoff is here. And just Jacob, of course, is here. And that's it so far. So if it doesn't tell you that it's slow on that end too, people are just busy. They're like getting to that like burnt up kind of set. So
yeah, I talked to somebody today, and I remember the feeling in July. I don't feel it as much now as far as the physical tiredness, but the mental tiredness there. But I remember always like after like once you got to July 4th, you felt like, oh man, like I've made it like halfway through summer. Even though it feels like the season started a little slow, there's a lot of the nation that didn't at the same time. So you get to this point where you're like, man, like I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I want a break. And typically in July, you can get a little break. I don't know how it's going. It seems to us like everything is still staying very, very busy. But that's the sometimes nice thing about getting a little bit of a break right around now before kids go back to school and busy season starts up for the fall.
Dog days, man. Dog days of summer. Like in the winter, everybody's just, oh man, I can't wait for spring. Spring's coming. And then spring happens and you're like, oh my God. And then it happens to slow down a little bit and you take a couple seconds and then you get to wait until fall comes. So it's a nice little transition you get used to, but that's where we are right now.
Yeah. And then tonight, well, you know how we are about our topics. We kind of talk about them, kind of don't, is the new guy killing the industry. Every year, tons of new window cleaners start in the industry, and there always comes up conversations of why does it feel like there's so many new window cleaners? And then all of a sudden, by wintertime, there's a lot of window cleaners who have quit. And then by springtime, there's a bunch of new window cleaners. So it's a cycle that I think we see every year as far as that goes. And there's some people that get into it and realize by the time they get to slow season, this was not for me, and they get out of it. We're definitely seeing like a large amount of younger window cleaners as well, as far as more like high schoolers, like starting as like a summer kind of thing they're doing in their neighborhoods and doing door-to-door sales. We've talked about that. I don't really think any of that stuff is exactly like what we're talking about here, but just what do you guys feel in your area? Do you feel like window cleaning is getting more popular? Post it in the comments as far as kind of what you guys are feeling about that.
I'm telling you, the like industry, say our saturation for the industry is like 50,000. I think it might be over that, but we'll say 50,000. There's 50,000 window cleaners. That means 1,000 in each state, obviously some more than others, 50,000. I'm telling you that in the past 10, 15 years, it has been 50,000. And every year there's the same amount of people in there. It's just, it circulates so much, where people, like you said, come in, then go out, then come in. Then all of a sudden, there's like college people and there's not. And I think that it's the new people that everybody goes and sees all these people asking maybe sometimes dumb questions and not doing their own research and things, that they're like, there's so many new people, I can't believe it. But they don't realize that a bunch of other people went out of business, so it's, I feel like it's still about on par. I would like to hear from everybody in the comments what they're thinking, but that's at least my guess.
Oh yeah, no, I think so. And I think videos like this happen like forever. Like someone will send me a video on YouTube of someone trying window cleaning, and there even be like this year, and they'll say, oh my gosh, I think everything's like getting too big. Then you look back and you see some of like the videos about cleaning the World Trade Center. It's like window cleaning isn't a new thing. Like it's not that new. It's just people are learning about it. There's so much more information out there. But I bet you in the pressure washing industry, I bet you it's like, what would you think? 10, 20 fold as far as the amount of people that are getting into that though, because that's a bigger industry.
I don't know that it would be that much bigger, but I bet you it is definitely bigger. And I don't know if it's actually bigger, or it's just that the equipment and like what they spent, because they're like a trailer setup's like 20, 30 grand. They're like, cool, I got it. Like I think it's a different thing. I feel like there are maybe more pressure washers out there, but yet in my brain, it's like every house, every building, every store has windows. Somebody has to be cleaning them. Like not every property has to be pressure washed, but not every property has to have glass either, but there's a ton of market there. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I'd like to know that. I think Jacob just said that it's really pressure washers here and they all want to offer window cleaning. So the pressure washers are seeing the industry and maybe coming across or what. That's a really good point.
Yeah. I feel like too, though, it's one of those things like where you're only a window cleaner and then you get asked about pressure washing, and then you're only a pressure washer. Then you get asked about window cleaning. Yeah. Like we lost a lot of accounts because Jim and I just did not want to do pressure washing in Colorado. And so we had a huge account, Mad Greens, big franchise restaurant. And they sent us an email and they're like, you guys are great. We just want to have one invoice though. Yeah. We don't want to keep having two companies do the work. So this other company, they made the window cleaning bid look like half of ours because they took the price of it and put it into pressure washing.
Yeah.
And we lost it immediately. And they were like, we also don't understand why your bid was so much or why it was so high for so many years. And it's like, what can you do? And that's not something that we run into a lot in Colorado because it's a drier climate, which I'm sure probably where you grew up or even where you are now. I mean, it would be a lot more prevalent for companies to want to have a company do both services all at once and get it done.
Well, in Wisconsin, we didn't have the biggest green I've ever seen in a house was like the size of a football. I'm like, whoa, what is that? And then I moved down south and I'm like, oh, this is why there's so many down here. Once you come in and you just see green everywhere, because people see green money-wise then, and everybody's there. So I feel like that's really what drains, gets people, and everybody just races to the bottom. That's like, the $99 guy is literally made in the pressure washing world. I got signs. I saw a sign last year. I haven't seen it now. I think it was house wash and driveway wash for $79.
Right. Some good comments here.
So
what would they do for $99? Like clean everything, or was it like driveway, house wash?
$79 for a house wash and a roof, or a house wash and a driveway cleaning.
Wow. So just spritz water up on your house and say, oh, it's better. It's
clean. I don't know, man. I don't know. But that means that same guy is not advertising. He's got a couple signs. As soon as those signs get stolen, he's gotten them more money to advertise. He doesn't have a website. He doesn't have anything. It's like.
Doesn't have insurance. That's the big thing. I think that's the big thing that scares me sometimes with younger people getting in the industry. And I'm sure that, their parents are helping them out with it and stuff like that. But making sure that you're really covered for the liability of what we do. It's not crazy liability. I think pressure washing has more. But it's definitely something that you have to take into consideration.
Yeah. You could be like 18 or 19 by the time you have to file bankruptcy because you screw it up, it's here's the thing that I'll by the way, this is not SteveO saying it. This is just me. But I do not like when the new people come in and don't do an ounce of their own. I mean, this is why everybody gets mad in groups, is when the new guy comes in and go, hey guys, I was thinking about cleaning windows. What do you charge? Like, you've made it obvious that you don't care enough about the industry, the job, or the culture, or respecting anybody else to even do your own bit of research. That's what makes people mad. It's not that they're coming in, because, man, you got some of these kids that are coming in, and I call them kids like I'm old, which I am, but you get these guys coming in and they're like, man, they're like 18. And it's like, dude, if we started when I was 18, man, so that's awesome. Yes. If you're doing it and you're genuinely into business and you respect the culture and you look at old guys like me and you're like, all right, I could respect, that makes sense. But when you come in and just go, hey, hand me all of your years of knowledge. You've been doing this 20 years. Tell me everything you know. No.
Yeah.
Need a bag of rocks,
Well, I do. And there's so much content. My channel, Nation, Chris's book that's for free that you can get off of windowcleaner.com. There's free forms and documents. Like, not trying to sell what is on windowcleaner.com as like the ultimate guide to creating your business, but it really can be very, very helpful and give you the background and knowledge that you need to build. And there isn't, like, the business part is a lot harder than actually learning the window cleaning part. That's the thing. And I do get that a lot too, where I know that someone hasn't really looked at any of the videos and they just want to hear it. That's what frustrates me so much sometimes, is that I am a visual learner. So I like to put everything on YouTube, and that's how I feel like other people learn. But then there's some people, they want to talk to you. They want to be able to hear it from, from my mouth as far as what it is. And that's just, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to interact with people like that, just due to that I'm a different type of learner. And I feel like, oh man, like all that stuff is out there. Like you could learn so much, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is. If it's like complaining about, something we shouldn't be complaining about. The only thing is that if you're going to get into business, like take a little bit, like I love when somebody genuinely asks a question, but they're like, hey, just, man, I've been doing my research. Like I read this book and there's an episode of Nation you did that you said this and this and this and this. So I started, and it's like, okay, so you've read or learned or done something. There's every answers out there. Forums are out there, Facebook groups. And I did this, but this is what I'm coming into. What do you think? It's like, okay, I will 100% want to answer that, because it's like, oh, this is why, but yet you've done the research. It's just that blanket statement of just hand me everything for free. It's just, it angers people sometimes. So,
yeah. But like, it's funny to see some of the different views here, like in the comments. Alex tries, from a competitive perspective, I love this new push of crazy door-to-door window cleaning sales, because they're educating new customers on window cleaning being a normal routine service. Yeah. And then there's some people that do not like, the pushiness of that. We've all had people do that, as far as coming to our door to try to sell to us. But I wanted to go back real quickly to that. I 100% agree with you in that it's cool to see kids or, people that age wanting to do something outside, wanting to start a business, wanting to hustle, because it's going to teach you more now than, honestly, I felt like I wish I would have done it like a lot earlier. Seeing these people sometimes, I'm like, man, like I wish I would have been motivated. And maybe that's too the difference of them having so much social media in front of them and being able to see this stuff on YouTube, where we didn't have that. Like, as we weren't seeing this kind of easy content to learn, like we were still reading through textbooks, there wasn't really, as far as that goes. So yeah, it's just crazy.
It's just a different world. It's a different learn too. It's, people, like you said, learn differently, but they find the content different places too. So, by the way, Alex said he's the first one to smash the like button. What the heck is going on? If you guys are watching right now, smash the like button for Stevie. Help him out, and share this. I see the hearts going and everything else.
Yeah.
What's up, CJ Bell in Canada? Keep it going. Literally, you guys, this is when we do these kind of things, we always want to have 1 billion people in here. So anytime you guys are liking our content, anytime you're thumbs upping things, subscribing, commenting especially, this is what blows this stuff up for us. So we really appreciate that.
Hiking made a really good comment here. And this is the way I began, was working for someone to get the experience. And I feel like that is being a little bit lost. And that I talked about this in a video I made recently, where everybody wants to start the business. Everybody wants to create the business, which is great. But it's not bad that if you're still young and you're really not having like, a mortgage and all this different stuff that you have when you're an adult, that you could totally work for somebody, figure out if you like it, learn a lot, and then don't go open a business right beside them. But then, at least have the knowledge to be able to go out there and do it right. And you'll learn so much from working underneath somebody.
I also think that is good if you have that option, but I also, because there are people, and this is not against hiking, because there is one of the biggest comments you always get on these people, like, don't start a business, go work for somebody. And that is cool, but like every single person still has to start somewhere. So like you can't hate the new guy because you were the new guy. Like, not you, everybody who's watching or listening, like, you can't hate the new guy because there was a point when you were the new guy, right? So you can't necessarily hate them and how they started. I didn't work for another window cleaning company. I literally one day, I remember sitting on the toilet reading a magazine from one of the other suppliers, and I'm like, this is a thing. And I bought a system, like not a system, but like a package. It was the Ettore with the bag, the whole thing.
Right.
That's how I started. I'm like, guess what? I'm going to do this and figured things out, Doesn't mean one way is right or the other, but like for me, I am like okay with people not starting with somebody else.
Right.
But you still got to figure stuff out on their own either way.
And that's why we do this show together, because we're so different.
Right. That's right.
That's why I still clean windows in the field, and you don't, because you don't want to anymore.
That's right. Absolutely right.
Dude, tomorrow I have the first 100-degree day here. No, tomorrow's not gonna be 100 degrees. Next Tuesday will be, and I have a huge home, but 2 guys are helping me on it. But tomorrow it's gonna be like 95, 96. And now when I go out, man, and I work like a 6 to 7, 8 hour day, I freaking die, because I'm not used to the pace anymore. Like I'm mostly right here. Like
tomorrow, just you're working out there, just take the whole day. Like you guys, if you just call me now. Don't bother SteveO. He's going to be just too hot.
I still answer while I'm working, man. I have my headphones on, doing an order, water fed Poland, doing fine. What I do.
Terrible. I think you should just relax. I don't know.
Nope.
Dang.
Sometimes I do have to do silent on the phone, but then I feel bad, and I come home and I have like tons of hours of calls to make. So
here's a question for you and everybody watching, because I know you are like big swings like I was. What is worse? What is worse? And if you're watching or listening, comment, please. What's worse? Hot, cleaning in the hot, or cleaning in the cold?
hot.
Like I'm talking extreme hot or extreme cold. What would you rather have?
Hot. I'd rather work in the extreme cold, because extreme cold, it's the first hour that sucks. It's the first hour. Your hands are freezing. It looks like a Slurpee coming off of your squeegee, and then all of a sudden you get used to it.
Yeah.
And that you can bundle up. You can't clean windows naked, so it's hard in the hot,
Maybe you can, but
I've had days like, I think it's the worst though when you get to the point where you stop sweating.
yeah,
That's when you've reached like a bad point in the day where you're like, oh man, this is not good. Like I need to go home.
Dude, so this is a real story. So I've gotten heat stroke. I don't know if you've gotten heat stroke, like real heat stroke.
Yeah.
It's like legitimately scary because your body's like dying. It's like shutting down, right? So I was doing this job, and I think we had like 6 guys on the thing, and it ended up we had to have a lift on this project because there were these like security bar things on the front of the street, and it was on this big busy road, and we didn't block off because we're stupid. Should have just blocked off the road anyway. So I'm on this, and we're on the corner where of course the sun is at your back, so it's beating in your face, right? And I'm working the lift, and this another guy water feeding from the lift. So I'm driving the lift around, moving it around as he's cleaning, right? So we're getting a ton done. All of a sudden, I kind of like stumble a little bit, and the whole thing kind of moves, and he looks over at me. Is nice one, man. You have a nice fall or something like that. I'm like, oh man, like my foot got caught or something. I don't know what happened. And he's like, whatever, dude. And all of a sudden I'm like standing there, and I'm like, oh, no. This is like, and I like all of a sudden, like my whole spine, like I could feel every one of my like vertebrae like start tingling all the way up. And I'm like, shoot. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, dude, we gotta just drop it. So move the lift down. We're starting to drop it. I'm like, losing losing myself. I finally get down, and they like walk me to the back, and I'm like trying to like have a cookie and soda, like trying to get my sugars back, dude. I was out for like an hour at the back of the building, like passed out like a freaking hobo. Man, that's hot. Like when you're cold, you're just uncomfortable. Like you just can't. You don't. Yeah. So
you would pick working in the cold as well?
I would.
Yeah, actually, you had a heat stroke. So I mean, I hope you would.
Well, yeah, but cold sucks. But like cold, you can move and get warmer.
Yeah.
You can really like, oh man, this is really cold. But like when you're too hot, you're like, your body is just drained. It's zapped. Like in the sun, you're just zapped, and you can't recover from that. When you're cold, when you get back in a car, you're like, woo, I feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
You don't do that in the hot.
I always remember a day where me and Alfredo went out. It was 8 a.m. a cold January morning. It was -3, -4 degrees. And we had to start outside on this area. And he cleaned like 2 windows, and he came up to me and he said, can we go like somewhere else, like inside work? Don't we have any inside work? I was like, no. It's like, we literally don't have any inside work. Like, this is what we have to do. Like, there's no other choice. And he never quit on anything. And he didn't quit on this day, but I'll never forget it, because like the pain that I just saw on his face of just like, this is like, why am I doing this? And I was like, dude, just bundle up for like an hour. We'll get through it. And I swear, like, we'll just go get hot coffee or something. We have to do it. We got to do it. But I love cleaning in like the winter. That's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I would say
love
like
any of them.
60, 70 degrees is really nice too, because, you know, nothing's going wrong. But cleaning in the winter, I love it. I hate cleaning homes during the cold of winter. That sucks. It's just unsafe. There's certain windows you can't get to. That's hard. But
here's what I find so interesting too. By the way, if you're still watching, comment just one word so I can see either hot or cold. What would you rather work in? Extreme hot or extreme cold? Because if you go back through these comments right now, I mean, you can say name brand, of course. Mr. Austin Grubbs himself said you can't pay enough to be in the cold. Vanderhoff said heat. The squeegee puller said cold. Vanderhoff says, you know, heat is worth. My t-shirt gets soaked. Like, you start looking at all these people. Katie's in Florida, so kind of get that one. But all those things, it's like you're one person is one complete opposite, one complete, you know, it's really interesting to see. Now look at everything coming in. Evan's cold, Lucas cold, TJ cold, Crystal Clear's hot.
I think the biggest thing that would kill me is the humidity.
That was amazing. That was a good time. We went, and by the way, keep commenting one word, hot or cold, which you'd rather do. But we went to the warehouse, which, by the way, we have to go back. Remind me, we got to plan something. But anyway, we went to the warehouse, and me and you, and it was not even that humid, but you're not used to humidity. And it was like, you were dying. Like, you were just dying.
I put on like 4 different shirts that day. I kept having to grab shirts from like the swag rack. Like, hey, can you guys just mark this one, please? And then like an hour later, just my whole belly is all.
That was so great.
And then I'm not good at filming with like a bunch of people either. I do not like it. I like filming on my own and my own comfortability. And it was, it was a rough day.
An all day, lots of people kind of thing.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yep.
Man. We got some questions to get to here, huh? Oh, let's see here. Oh, new rinse bar, metal rinse bar. As far as that goes, I will have one here, I believe Wednesday or Thursday. I'll make a video quick just to more show it flows. I love rinse bars. You're not a biggest fan of rinse bars, right?
Not a huge fan, but I do like the metal rinse bar over the plastic rinse bar. Even though people freak out because you can damage windows. Like, if the thing flips over and hits it, like, yeah, it's metal on windows, you're going to scratch the glass, but like doing it just normal and nice, there's not like, just don't scratch the window. It's an easy thing.
Yeah. I don't really get the scratch window thing. I've seen someone do it, but it was their every single time I've seen someone do it, it's their own doing. And they admit to it right away to me. They're like, yep, I messed that up. And it's like the cleaners who clean super fast and aggressive and they're just like going for it. It's like, there's no need. Just let the
bam into the top of the window. Bam.
Yeah. Just let the weight of the pole do the work. You do not need to do it. And then boom, they'll cockeye it and slam something into it. But yeah.
By the way, I don't see Chris in here right now. The reason this is a SteveO exclusive right now. The reason there's a new rinse bar is that there's a new brush coming to market.
Yes.
Nobody's asked that question yet or realized why all of a sudden there's another rinse bar. It just happened to be launched out before everything else. So just as a SteveO exclusive.
And they're all great brushes too. I've done tests and they're awesome. So that should be out soon. Yeah. Don't hit us up with text about it, but it'll be out soon.
And don't post that we said that either, because then we get in trouble.
Don't say anything.
I mean, Steve will get in trouble because it's his channel. I got a free pass.
Some people ask though of like why the input on it is kind of cockeyed. I think that's super nice, because one of the things about the other rinse bar on the market is that when you try to tighten their little thing below it, you couldn't really get in there very easily. So there's just some different things about it that make it really cool, but I'm excited to try it. And then it kind of has the splay out more than just a straight splay of water. So yeah, I'm excited to get it.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting things, I think, too, that, I mean, you know how often people go, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to make $1 million. Let's do it. But it is interesting when actual innovation makes it. And I'm telling you right now, heed my words, but the only thing in the industry that nobody is innovating on is brushes. And brushes are literally the thing that, like, people, it's what does the cleaning. So I feel like that's going to be the next thing, right? We have the stiffest carbon fiber, blah, blah, blah. We have the lightest carbon fiber, blah, blah, you know. It's brushes that you're going to really see, because the system is a system now. I mean, at this point, like, there's so many innovations. There's like very few things that'll happen in that world, but you'll see innovation still.
Yeah. Yeah. Evan Stomp said, you don't find the 4 jets doesn't do well in hydrophobic glass. I prefer the rinse bar always on hydrophobic glass.
Rinse bar is unmatched compared to 4 jets, because you're going from 4 to 24, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've consistently used a rinse bar ever since the day it was released from Tucker. I mean, I don't know when that was, maybe 5 years ago or something.
I got a question though. Would you rather use a rinse bar, or would you rather use fan jets?
Rinse bar.
Really?
I hate fan jets.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like create that triangle shape. Then you're like up there and you just see a bunch of water like misting everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Like, I tried the Mofos for a long time. I liked them, but they were a little bit too big on the brush. Those took a lot of water volume to work nicely.
Yeah.
And then, the one thing I always saw was, like, if I was doing a maintenance job, it was fine. Like, overspray was fine, but I'd be doing a dirty job and I would just be seeing water just everywhere around like the brush on a sunny day. And I was like, it's just too much. There's just too much going on. Like, how can I know that this is going to look good? And it didn't come out that great a lot. So
you're OCD. You're just watching.
Yeah. Why am I doing this? I should have never done this.
I don't like stuff like stuck. Like the rinse bar, to me, even though it's not in the way, because it's not, but like the rinse bar, the Moflos, like all that stuff just seems like chunky, right? Like it just feels to me like there's like a baby orangutan on the top of my brush. And even if it's not, it's a mental thing. It's like I don't get over the whole rinse bar. I like the split of them. I like for hydrophobic glass. You know, I like rinse bars. You can, have them on the brush and only use them if you're in hydrophobic, if you don't want to use them. But I'm not the rinse bar for every situation type guy, though.
I think the biggest question, I think you probably get this too, is, well, don't I use both at one time? No, you don't need to use both at one time. If you want to, yes, but you need to have a high volume of water happening also to work both appropriately. So
you're just wasting water at that point.
Yeah, and you don't need that much water. That's something that's, I think, forgotten a lot about, is that you really don't want this like crazy high pressure. And that's the thing we get from a lot of new people is, this ain't going to do anything. So it will be surprising to you.
Sorry, that was to Alex.
Hashtag rinse bar.
Hashtag rinse bar, 2 clips.
Oh, man. Well, hey, I won't say that yet. But no. Yeah, I can do it. Yeah. Make sure that if you guys are coming to the huge convention, that no.
I'm saying nobody's gonna want your shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Make sure, you guys, if you're coming to the convention, you have to come to our booth right away and ask us.
It's an exclusive thing. We're not putting these out. I'm not putting mine out. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, no, not at all. You have to come by the booth, and we have something special for people who are smart and people who are dumb.
Don't be so hard on yourself. So here's the deal. Steve is hashtag 2clip, and apparently so is Alex. Try harder, buddy. Everybody else who is smart in this group is, of course, a hashtag 1clipper. We have shirts, a hashtag 1clip for Jersey, and a hashtag 2clip for Steve or whatever. And we're going to have those at the show. They're just ridiculous shirts that no one's going to know what you're talking about except for the cool kids. And you guys are cool kids. So you have to ask us for one, though, because we're not putting them out. Because at these shows, literally, if stuff's not bolted down, people will steal your stuff.
Yeah. Evan said something here I have to address. He said, I actually tried 1clip for the first time a few weeks ago and found no difference. It's not about the difference now. It's about the difference when clients start calling and canceling your service because of 1clip.
No, you know what it is? It's when you find out that 1clip allows the rubber to sit and float in there, and you never, ever, ever have stretched rubber ever again. It's great. But by the way, ask us, because we have these shirts, and we each, I think we only got 100 each. That's
gonna be a lot. Even though people, no matter what, they will all go because people love free shirts. I always grab a ton of free shirts that mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
Right at the end of the convention, I have the weirdest shirts in my closet that I don't know what they mean. But yeah, they will go quickly. They just will. So make sure if you guys are going, come by right away when the trade show happens. We'll give you the shirts. And yeah,
I truly
mine will
don't
be all
want to.
gone. Yours might be all left. We don't know.
Well, that's what I was saying. I don't want to have to pay to get 75 of your shirts back because nobody wanted them. You know, we're like, hey, free shirts. And they're like, yeah, I'd rather not have a free shirt. Thank you. You know, and then it's like awkward. And it's like, I know 2 clips is terrible, but come on.
Your shirts are going to be like the shirts that they make for the Super Bowl for the team that loses.
There's going to be some Nigerian kid with the shirt on. Like,
oh, that's so bad. Great. You're going to see it on a 1-800 commercial soon.
It's awful. For only 30 cents a day, you can help and it'll just be kids with 2 clips on their shirt. And SteveO the window cleaner people will be like, what is that?
What is this guy? Oh man, yeah, this guy Jersey. Jersey, do you take a clip off the Ninja? Wow, how would you
I don't like the Ninja. I don't like the external clips on the Ninja. I do like the Ettore super channel in the Ninja handle because the Ninja handle still is by far, in my opinion, one of the best handles.
It is.
But I don't like the external clips. Again, chunky, man. I don't know.
They are very big, and like I like the Ninja, but I can't use it in a silencer because of the way they go in. You go to grab it out and it catches the lip and everything. The dry walker is actually a great bucket on a belt for the Ninja because of the way that it's super soft. Where you put in the channels. My camera just sucks. Okay, we're good to go.
I still think the dry walker is like the best bucket on a belt out there. I know the silencer, grackle, all that, but what is the price now down to? We just dropped the price on the grackle finally.
Yeah, price on grackle is I think. Let me just check it real quick. I think it is $279 now.
It's good, but man, I still just really like the dry walker.
Yeah, well, the dry walker leaves your legs dry, and then also is a super good price for what it is. You can hold a lot of squeegees,
and it's like a hybrid. It's like hard but yet still soft and quiet. It doesn't like make that clunky noise that the plastic ones do. And
I do feel like it's the one we see go out the most as far as go out the door. I don't have numbers. I don't look at those things, but I would say it is.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We had that actually in the first of the year. Everything they went through in processing, and I think it was Ben or somebody put it together, and it was all of our like top 3 in every category of things. And you read it, and you're like, really?
Oh, the dry walker?
Well, it was like the dry walker for the buckets on a belt, and then like you look at like blades or something, or like rubber. Like I'm not going to talk about the rubber that was number 1, and I'm like, that's such garbage rubber. I can't believe it. So
anyway, so let's see here. Oh man, how many people in this chat started out with the Poolex Tubex bucket on a belt though?
Listen,
I thought that thing was the bee's knees when I first got. I was like, this game can hold 3 channels. It was
my first thing. The first show I ever went to was the picnic at Gary Mauer's, like Oconomowoc, if you heard of that or knew about that. And I had a guy there, and I was the new guy. I was a kid. Like I felt like I was the kid, right? And we were talking about something, and I never heard of a bucket on a belt. And the guy's like, really? I said, no, that's awesome, though. I really appreciate you telling me about it. You know, like it was on glass. And he's like, hold on a second. And the guy's name was Kevin Heap. And I'm pretty sure he's still out there. Still. He literally walked to his car, grabbed a bucket on a belt, and handed it to me and was like, here, now you got one. And I'm like, what? No. I was like, how much do you want for this? He's like, take it. At the time, I'm like new, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this dude just gave me this thing. It's amazing. Changed my whole world, and I still remember his name to this day. All because of that dumb little like $20 thing I got.
First time I ever saw a bucket on a belt, and I might have told this story before. I saw it on a window cleaner in town, and this was the guy I was working for in college. And I said to him, and I always called him on the phone. He was never like at the jobs. And I was like, hey man, this guy that you hired that came with me today, he had like a mailbox on the side of his belt. Like, where do we get these mailboxes? Like, that's what I literally thought it was.
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
He's like, what?
Like, what are you talking about?
He's like, you're going to be an internet sensation someday. You know that, kid?
That boss took a lot of pills.
Here's a question for everybody in here. Has anybody ever used the strap on the bottom of a bucket on a belt, like the like shoelace thing to like tie it to your leg?
I was just going to say, because TJ Bell is in here and he was saying that it swing a lot. So yeah, you got to get that little thing. You got to tie it like around your calf.
Have you done that before?
I have. Yeah.
Really?
Me and Alfredo used to do it for a little bit when we had ours. Yeah, we used to do it.
Crazy.
It was great. He rocked one for like, I would say probably 12, 14 years.
Really? And strapped it on the bottom too.
Yep. Every day you tied it on his calf and he'd have it there ready to go.
I would take a saw and cut the little nub off because they like had a little nub on there down there too.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. I just did.
You know, it happens. Let's see here. Pole hose connection to the middle bar. We have like missed any questions that have happened, but I don't know if there's been that many.
Probably 1,000.
I feel like everyone's just having a good time.
By the way, if you're here having a good time, tell us yes if you're going to the huge convention, or no if you're not. Just one word so we can see it fast. Yes or no if you're going to be there.
It's going to be an interesting one. I feel like, because they have renamed it to the home show. It's no longer window cleaning and pressure washing. Home show. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how it is.
I feel like last year window cleaning was smaller anyway. And I feel like this year it's going to be just like software companies. Software companies, man, they got so much dough to like throw out there that I still love going though. But
like I think what we found last year, you've been there quite a bit. That was my first time. You don't get to see everybody as much as you would love to see everybody. So if you guys hit us up, even through like our social media or anything like that, hit us up if you guys want to grab a drink, you guys want to talk. I think what we found last time was when we started the trade show, we always want to talk to a bunch of people, but like we got hit up right away by just tons of people who just wanted to chat about life, chat about work and everything. And John Austin was sitting there just raking up orders.
Yeah. Like, all right, well, I would love talking to you, but I wanna sell some things right now.
The second day is always nice, though.
Yeah, that's where the nice chill afterwards, like bar kind of scene is, where you just go and hang out and like shoot the poo and just kind of like see. But here's the thing, you have to like, if you see us, I hate so much when people are like, oh, I saw you there, but you guys were talking. Of course we were. That's what we do. Like, oh, I didn't say anything. Just say hello. Like, yell hello. Say, what's up, Jersey? I don't know who SteveO is, or whatever, you know? And like that makes sense.
I think you're the popular person there, though. You've been to all these all the time. So people are like, oh, hey, guy. Oh, hey, guy. All the time.
I mean, you know. No, actually, what's funny is me and you did this quite a few times, is that every time somebody come up and be like, oh, my gosh, SteveO, I just want to say, like, it is because of you that I get aroused from my wife, or whatever their thing is, right? And then they'll shake your hand, and then you'll always be like, oh, cool, you know my friend Jersey? And they'll be like, oh, nice to meet you. It's the same thing. Somebody comes to meet you. Oh, do you know my friend Steve? And they're like, no, nice to meet you. And it's like, yeah.
Yes. Yell out 2-clip gang gang, and then we'll be all good.
Or yell out the right thing, hashtag 1-clip. You're accidentally going to get a 2-clip shirt if you yell that out. And then you'll be like, ugh.
Let's help out TJ Bell here. TJ Bell asks, you guys have any advice for walking into storefronts for the first time? I'm brand new to sales. I'm going to tell you my spiel. I don't have a spiel. I'm going to tell you what I do with storefronts than Josh.
You have a spiel. Everyone has a spiel.
No, I got a spiel. I'm very reactive. You know, I can read what the person's thinking. I can fill the room. I can't do any of these things. Anyways, I always went into storefronts. The first thing I would just, I wouldn't introduce my business. I would just say like, hey, my name's Steve from XYZ Window Cleaning. Do you already have a window cleaner? Yes, we have a window cleaner. Okay, if they have a window cleaner, then I dropped them a business card. I said, hey, if anything ever happens, you need our service, feel free to give us a call. If they didn't have a window cleaner, I'd say, okay, will you be okay with me giving you a bid to clean your windows on a regular schedule? No. Okay, well, I just want to leave a bid so that you have the bid in case you ever need your windows cleaned. No matter what, I would leave every single storefront with handing them a bid in hand. Even if they didn't want it, I left it on the counter. I did not care. Another thing that I think is actually really good, and I was talking to someone about the other day, was that if there's a smaller storefront, you can pretty much collect that price as you walk up to it. And the second that they say, oh, no, we don't want a quote, and you say, okay, well, I just want to leave you one just in case, or the second they say, hey, I want a quote, boom, you can write it right then. If it's a larger place, give yourself the time to write a quote. That's what I always did. And then obviously ask for the sale. If they say no, which they're most likely going to do, then you just got to follow up. I always follow up 3 times. By the end of that, I was usually good with whatever happened, and then I followed up if I was in the area. But that's how I usually closed quite a bit of mine. So it's not a spiel. It's just kind of a strategy of steps that I always do. Process.
When I walk into a place, every time, I never ask them, do they have a window cleaner? I never ask them, do they want to bid? I walk in, I count the windows. I already have it on the clipboard. I write their name on the top, like the store name, and then I write the bid down, and I walk in, I go, hey, my name is Jersey with XYZ Window Cleaning. We also clean this place and this place. I'm just in the neighborhood. I figured I'd drop this stuff off for you. Just wanted to drop off our price and some info on us, and I slide the price over because I already wrote it down. It's on a carbon copy form, so I already got a copy of it with my business card, like a brochure and everything. Slide it over, and I don't say anything. I slide it over, and then they look at it, and they like look over the windows, and the windows always look like crap because like anytime you're like actually they've never looked at their windows. Yeah. They're like, oh well, we have somebody right now. Oh, awesome. Well, hey, I love loyalty. If something ever changes, you now have my pricing. You have my card. I am here 24/7. If you ever need me, I can help. All of that, I have it. And if they are interested, then I can go with that. Blah, blah, blah. But I always walk in, like you said, always give them a bid. And whenever somebody says no to you, it's not saying no to you. It's saying no, they don't need your service. That's the hard part. People get so beat up after a while that they just kind of like, it's like two places. And they're like, I don't even want to go in anymore. And it's like, they just don't want your service. Go somewhere else. Like once you're in business, you realize that's just how it is.
It'd be interesting to go out now, and like it's been forever since I've had to sell, storefronts, but it'd be interesting to go out now and just kind of see the difference after COVID and everything to see, because I know in my area, a lot more stores that were mom and pops or even a lot of retail stores around my area are just not busy. A lot of the actual shopping mall areas are just dead. Areas that I used to clean all the time, there's nothing going on anymore. All the malls I used to clean in, gone, done, tore down. So it'd be interesting to kind of see how it is out there and try to go for like a week and see how many storefronts you could just sell for like another business, just for like fun.
Yeah. And I'm not a fan. Somebody asked about door knocking. I don't like door knocking at houses. I know that's like the new thing. I don't like it. I don't get it. I know people have some really good success on it. And it's usually, I've talked to a dozen probably guys are like, hey, I used to do solar and now I want to do this. And they're like in door knocking, they're just used to it. But I don't like the door knocking thing, but in route, I'm 100% okay with it. Just because you're going to go there anyway. If you go into a place, I don't care if you're doing good or bad as a business. I just know you have to have this done. Like if you're going to be too cheap, you're going to do it yourself. So that's cool. That's still on you, but I'm still going to put it out there, In a house, it's like, man, are you guys eating? Or like, did somebody just die? Or like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the hard thing too, is to do it door to door for homes and do the inside. Because for me, in my home, I have to mentally be prepared for like somebody for a service to come in my house. Like I want a time, I want a day. I don't want it that day unless it's an emergency. And so I'm very much that wired that way. Like I don't like someone coming to my door and doing that because I think of pest sales. Yeah, exactly.
Like nobody has ever come to your door where it could be even at the best time where you're like, oh, I got nothing to do and your doorbell rings. There's never been a time where you're like, ooh, I wonder what they have. Ooh, what are you guys selling? Like never. You walk in, you're like, yeah, what? What do you like? Yep. You never start off happy. Even if they're like, hey, we're doing bugs and I happen to have bugs. I'm like, yeah, I'll do my own research. Like,
now, what is the one thing that you're happy to see knock your door every year?
I know what you're going to say, but I'm keto, so I can't say cookies.
So boring about food. It's Girl Scouts, man. Every time Girl Scouts come to your door and they want to give you cookies, you're like, take my money. Just take
By the way, my wife was the cookie mom for like 5 years. So we would go and fill 2 carloads full of vehicles to get cookies and keep them in our garage. So, wow. And I was still keto, so I didn't eat cookies. But
dang, that sucks, man. I love Thin Mints. Oh man, Thin Mints.
Did you ever put them in the freezer?
Yes, I was just about to go there.
I was gonna say. Not the caramel delight.
Yep.
Caramel delight all day long.
Oh man, 1 row a night, just take it down.
So many cookies.
Yeah.
I have 32 cookies. That's it. I cut it off at 32 cookies.
For Ryland's birthday, we had a little tiny birthday party for him on Saturday, and Alex went and got, not only did she get about like 2 dozen of the best sugar cookies I've ever had that had like Sesame Street characters like done on it. She used to work at a place called Buttercream, and her old boss did them, and they were the best cookies I've ever had. But then she also went to the Bunk Cake place.
I was just gonna say that place. I was gonna say cookies are good, but have you ever had?
Yeah. Got those too. So we had those, and then we had a bunch of barbecue. So I am just a fat log right now.
Yeah.
Man.
So
crap.
Paul Mart, the mall cop or whatever his name is going to be at a huge convention now. Hey, Steve, what happened to you? Nothing. At a birthday party. You got diabetes now?
I lost some weight during the winter. I gained it all back this summer.
Did you? Are you still down, by the way?
I'm just a little bit up, but that was by choice. Yep, it was by comfort. I felt I needed it. I needed it inside.
Hey, whoa, hey.
You know. No, I've actually I gained a couple pounds. That's because I went off that diet that I was on. I'm back on that diet, but not as serious. And
Healthy Trim Mama?
Huh?
Are you on Healthy Trim Mama? Is that your diet?
Healthy Trim Mama. Yep, exactly. Yep, it's a good one. And then but yeah, you know what the thing that sucks about diet though? It's just not as enjoyable. And I'm a huge if I want to have a sugar cookie, I want to have a sugar cookie. I don't want to have to think about it. Yeah. So
it's a neat story.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, no. Keep telling me all about how it's terrible to be on a diet.
How long you been on your diet for? 10 years?
It's only been like 4. No. Only been like 4. Not 4 yet, almost, but.
But then you'll suck down 4 Mountain Dews in less than 30 minutes. Oh, but they're sugar-free. I forget.
I wish. Oh, yes, my soda. When I eat food, yes. When I sit down at a restaurant, yes. It's obnoxious.
Yes.
That's why I stopped drinking soda again, because I can't control myself when I just drink.
Oh, here's a fun question for everybody since we're talking about food. Do you clean any businesses where that's the payment?
I used to do it for a gyro place, and we had to literally start charging money because I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, it was like $69 a week we got in free food. And I was like, dude, I'm taking so much advantage of this gyro place that I just can't do this anymore. Like, do car washes or something, man.
Yeah.
But we did have one of our restaurants. It was like a pub that we knew the guy, and we just always cleaned his windows every week, and we just always got free food. Like, there was supposed to be like tallies somewhere, but we just went in and ate. Like, we didn't take advantage of it, and if they ever needed stuff, we did it. So
my favorite
makes sense sometimes.
Yeah, my favorite was a bagel place that I cleaned for years, and I'd always get free bagels, whatever sandwich I wanted, and it's one of the things I miss is that little thing of just getting free food. It was always great.
You know, one of these days you'll be able to buy your own bagels.
One day, someday. I need more customers to buy orders from me.
One more customer, please.
please. So you see me begging on YouTube. Josh takes all my sales.
I just beg better on YouTube. That's all. Yeah. I'm not on YouTube, but yeah.
Shameless plugs. Man, we've just gotten so off topic here. But yeah. Finks. Your probably last name is not Finks. It's probably just whatever. What's the lightest pole, but not the most expensive?
Wrong question.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the fastest car that isn't expensive?
They don't really go together, those. But if you're looking for a light pole, and if you're talking about, let's say, an extension pole, it's for a squeegee, zero trad pole. So it's carbon fiber. It's going to be lightweight. It's going to be very rigid. You're going to pay $200 for a 12-foot pole, but you also get the 12-year warranty with it. So it's totally worth it.
And
if you're talking
bend.
about, and it doesn't bend.
Have
if you're talking about water-fed poles and you want to go light, but you also want to have not expensive, it doesn't happen. So if you want light, it's ultra high mod, which is the Xero ultra light pole, or any ultra, high mod pole out there. And so that would be your lightest pole typically. But yeah, depending on what you want to do there, they don't go together very well as far as inexpensive.
And I'm going to tell you, going for the lightest pole is like such a 2000s thing. Like, they're all within like a pound. Like, literally, you'll pay double for a basic grade to a ultra high mod grade for the weight. It'll cut off a pound and it will be double. So it's like, well, what is a pound, right? Like, a gallon of milk weighs 8 pounds. Like, think of that, So you want to go stiffest. If you're going to go for something, go stiffest or best bang for your buck. Either go one end of the spectrum or the next. And no, there is no what is the stiffest pole for the cheapest amount of money. You don't get both things.
Yeah. Let's do this one. KD window cleaning. Speaking of which, I have a question for you guys in the chat and SteveO/Jersey. Is TikTok bringing you clients? I have not had one window cleaning client from TikTok. I've actually pretty much stopped TikTok. I just don't. I'm kind of over it. I just don't like it.
It is the most depressing thing to do because I spend 2 hours every week doing TikToks to post for the whole week. And you're like, hey, I got another 300 views the next week. Oh, well, I got 300 views on that one. And then you see other stupid things about somebody drinking a Grimace shake and there's 43 million views. And it's like, why am I doing this?
I'd have to say this, though. I thought YouTube was dying 6 months ago. I was talking about that a lot on here. I don't feel that anymore. Yeah. I feel like the TikTok is fading out. Instagram, since they removed their monetization, a lot of people don't like going on there anymore. But Instagram's always been good for just like, whatever. It's always going to be good. But YouTube, man, what?
I want to explain something about YouTube. Think about this. Think about this. Netflix spends millions of dollars to have Adam Sandler make a movie for them. Or say they go and get a comedian, right? They'll go spend a buttload of money, right? And that will put one piece of product out there for an hour, right? On YouTube, you put out hours of content. Hours of content. You'll always put out content. You'll always put out content. Netflix can't keep up. Hulu can't keep up. Amazon Prime can't, like, none of that can keep up with YouTube. So when people say YouTube's dying, it just cannot die. It's just a platform that allows people to put actual produced content out there. I just think that it just can't. Now, the younger generation maybe is looking more at like the TikTok stuff where it's like super fast paced and they can just like disappear. But for quality content, it will always be YouTube.
Yeah, definitely. Oh man, people are talking about Home Advisor, Angie's List. Oh man, it's rough. Did you ever do any of those?
Yeah. I liked Home Advisor. I really, really liked Home Advisor. I know people poop on it a lot, but I really do like Home Advisor. If you're fast, I mean, it's a great way to rack stuff. I got some giant customers from it. I got some great customers from it. It's just, there's a lot of people out there looking for maybe a deal, but there's a trick to it. There's a hack. If you can do the trick, then you get a lot of work from it.
Yeah. I do know some different companies that have done really well on it. Another good question here from Evan Stomp. If people leave outside screens on, outside only, when you told them to remove them, do you waste time to remove them yourself, or do you not do those windows or charge them for removal? I never leave screens to the customer to do anything with. That is never.
You always take them off?
No, I will 100% always take them off. I'm the type, though, I just don't like the customer doing anything. If they say, hey, let me move the couch. Nope, don't move the couch. I'll move the couch. That's where I'm at with what I do. But I totally understand like having them remove them too. But I will, if they're all on, let's say they're on the second story, even if I could remove them from the outside, I always ask if I can go inside. If they're not home, they're not home. I understand that. But if I can remove them, I am going to go up and remove them. Yes, if it is something of that it is taking you a lot of time, sure, maybe you could have a conversation with them and tell them, hey, because of the time I have to add this amount, I wouldn't. I would do the job the first time, suck it up, and then the next time just let them know, hey, since I couldn't get them, I just had to add this price. I do that a lot. Like after I do a home one time, I say, next time it's going to be this price. So I wouldn't skip them. But yes, if you cannot remove them from the outside and they're only removable from the inside, they're not home. There's nothing you can do about that. But I would definitely try to remove them.
Another reason why we're on this show together. But yeah, I'm completely opposite. So if I ever do an outside only job, if it's inside and outside, I'll always take the screens down, obviously, then I just control it anyway. And I'm going to try to upcharge them to get them clean. But if I'm doing an outs only job, I will never, ever take the screens down myself. I will always have the customer do it. I've never in 16 years of doing that ever had somebody say, yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, if they did, I've had a couple of things missed that I just go around, like I'll spray through the water fed. That's it. In my opinion.
I tell you why it's so good. So, there's that little track that the screen goes in, right? So when you do outside only and the customer removes the screens, you have to clean that track. when you remove the screens, you can put that back and the customer never sees that track. So you save time.
That's a good one, actually. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
People always ask me, like, do you clean that? Or window cleaners that? Do you clean that? Well, if you put the screen back, you can't see it.
I wipe.
It's just like when you get done cleaning windows, you close all the blinds.
I always do. Always clean the blind, close the blinds. Like, oh, I'll close them but leave them open so all the light comes in. But yeah.
Or Pella storms where they have the blinds in between. Every time we're done with the Pella storm, put that blind right up and we're good. We're out of here.
Yep. What an awful window, by the way.
Yes. Very, very true. Well, man, this hour flew by. Crazy enough. So, yes, it is going to be a month until we're on here next, or 4 weeks. And it will be kind of right before the convention. So we'll be back before then. I'll be gone in 2 weeks. So that's another reason why. And then, yeah. And then we'll be close to
multiple vacations in a year over here.
Hey, I need my time. So
I need your time too. So go.
Well, thank you all for watching. It was a smaller crowd tonight, but we're always appreciative to everybody for coming and checking us out. I didn't even announce anything about it today. I'm really bad about that always, but I love the natural, organic crowd. I just do. So thank you all for coming. And do you have anything? You don't. Okay, so we're good to go. Oh, you do have something. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten a subscription, which I know some of you don't. See, that's the sticker, man. That's the Scrubber and Squeegee sticker with the Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty, by the way.
Yep.
If you haven't yet, go out and get the subscription. There's actually some stickers that I'm really proud of coming up too. So go and get that. But anyway, get the subscription, awcmag.com. Yeah.
Yes, do that. And remember, if you're going to the huge convention, please come to the booth immediately and grab your favorite shirt. Oh, yeah. Oh, spin it.
Right.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Your phone's too old. That's a cool one. I can't wait for that one. That's the poster that everybody had in college on their dorm walls.
I know, right? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you are at the huge convention, ask about the shirts. Make sure to subscribe to Stevie's channel because he needs a bagel. And if you guys didn't know, of course, we're reps for windowcleaner.com. So let Steve put your orders in for you.
Yeah. His number is not out there anymore. Shut down. So you just call me.
Yeah. It's a sad thing, but
not true.
Yeah. You know.
Alrighty. Alrighty, y'all. Well, y'all have a good month and we'll see you guys in August.